Welcome to the NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. This is Coach Uncle Milt. We'll welcome y'all guys tonight to the 65th episode. The 65th, I was born in 1965, and I'm 56, so you flip it that. This might be a special show tonight. What's up, Joe?
What's going on, Milt?
What's going on? I had a good weekend, man. Very good weekend at an event. You know, we gonna touch on the special Super Bowl, Big Apple Super Bowl that was top to bottom, man. Shout out to everybody that put that together. You know what I'm saying? Live stream was on point. Shout out to Spin Move. He was working, man. Spin was working, man. He, had Spin. They had Spin on a level on one of them platforms. He was climbing up and down, getting everything, man. Shout out to Spin Move, man. He was working. Shout out to Mr. Professional. We put on a very good Super Bowl. The lineup was perfect. You know, the best game was at the finale. That was the best game, and it was just top to bottom, man. It was world class, man. World class event. First time I was out in Curtis High School out in Staten Island, and I forgot they had hills out there, man. They got these hills out in Staten Island, man. You go, man, my foot was messed up the next day, man. Next day I couldn't even walk. And, I took the ferry out there and the bus, but shout out to Coach Anthony. He gave me a ride all the way back home, man. But it was an amazing day of football, you know. And it started off with that when I did was that 8U game. That 8U. Well, before we get into that, man, I want to give a congratulations for that Brooklyn team, the big bad Brooklyn Chiefs. I want to give a shout out to them. They did what they were supposed to do. It was a whole lot of drama going on with it. It was out in Curtis, the home field jerseys was important. We want to wear our white jerseys and all that turmoil and drama. They came and did what they were supposed to do. They came out and got 4 chips, and they are Big Apple now. They rule Big Apple now. And the way they did it, it was some games that was competitive, but they stuck together. I had the opportunity of being on a sideline and watch those coaches help each other and get the kids organized and competing, and it was really good. It was very good how that organization help each other and stick and everybody pull in to get that win. So that win is out for all the coaching staffs, for all the divisions. Miss Tosh, Mr. Phenomenal, Coach Dennis, Coach Malik, Coach Dan. If I forget your name, brother, please excuse me. And they leader, I call him King Just. They all came out there and did what they were supposed to do second year in Big Apple, and they did what they supposed to do, and they swept. They swept the whole chip. Every division that they brought there came home with a trophy. And it was so amazing. It was so amazing to see how happy the kids was and the parents. And, shout out, and my hat's off to them. World-class organization in Brooklyn. And they're the king of the Big Apple, man. They're the king of Big Apple. They're the team to beat in the state. We're going to get to later. They're the team to beat in the state, period. And we're going to get to that thing later. Hopefully we can get Tyrone to call in at to call in like 9:30 if he can. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about something coming up this weekend if it comes up. But I got a fantasy youth football pick for the state of New York. Is Uncle Mill's top 12, and we're going to get into that. But getting back to the amazing day, it started off with an 8U game, and it was like, and I was torn with this pick, but I have to go with the Queens Avengers. Not only they're from my hometown, but that organization, that organization is an upcoming organization. They're gonna be big in Jamaica, Queens. That organization, because they got the right coaches, they need to expand with more kids, bring more people in. And they're gonna be probably one of the fastest organizations that's gonna grow, with quite a few divisions. But Coach Kia, because I pronounced her name right, I seen she work, man. She don't make it easy. These kids. Let me tell you something. These kids played to the very, very end. And they played to the very end, and she was positive. She was coaching. And her and her brother, man, they was coaching. He lost his head a little bit. They calmed him down, and he went back out. And those kids did everything the coaches told them to do, everything. And if they're going to lose a game, like I said, that's the way to lose it. It's things that you can't control in youth football. It's the clock. And the referee call. They played. That last drive was amazing. That kid number 5, I got to get his name, but we doing a story on those kids next week. We working on doing a story on those kids next week. But that kid number 5, man, he hurt his toe, got back out. They worked on him, got back out there, and they drove the field. Now, what happened to the last play was if he didn't score that last play, they probably still be playing right now. That's how good that game was. The thing is that the first play that was questionable with the referee was the Chiefs touchdown. You could scoop it up. It could pop up in your hand. The referee told me if he would have fumbled it, if he would have juggled it and it hit the ground, that would have been a dead ball right there. We resumed play. But the way it bounced up in his hand and he left. And that kid number 1, oh man, this little kid, damn, I got to get them. Call Uncle Mel up, man. I like to get these kids' names, man. I don't want to be calling them number 5, number 3. They got a kid. The Queens Avengers got a kid number 1. This little kid is the most. I like to know how old this kid is. Man, he's a player. He don't care about his size. He went in there. He was the first one that made the contact. Bumped off of him. They ran for a touchdown, right? Because it was like a 1-score game, and it was going like very late. And the kid made a touchdown. But the referee made the right call. Right? So they brushed themselves off, came back, and drove the field. 4th down, got a first down. It was a big first down. It was on 4th and some change. They got a big first down. And this kid, number 5, he was running the ball. And he came down, and this was the ruling down there, right? Now, I asked the referee. He did step out. He stepped out on a 1. But I asked the referee, did he break the plane before he stepped out? The referee said, I didn't look at his hands. I didn't look at his hands, but he did step out. If he would have went in, I would have called a touchdown. But there's no pylon there. So we don't know if he broke the plane. The referee already said that he didn't look at his hands. He didn't look at his hands. So he admit that he didn't get the whole visual, but they make the call. They make the call. It's got to be respected. They had a tape out, a video out. He did step out on the 1. He stepped out, but he also, from the back, you don't see that he extended his arm. So I asked the ref, did he break the plane before he went out? So, and the referee answered me like, that he didn't. I mean, now he didn't say he didn't. They said that he didn't look. So, the referees, let me tell you something. Because the one thing I don't like when people do that, if you lose, stop saying the referee's cheating. The referees, stop telling the kids that. Stop telling the kids that. If I see another coach or parent tell a kid, I'm going to tell them to stop telling the kids that. Stop saying the referees. They're human beings. They're human beings and they're impartial. Good referees out there. Very good referees out there on Sunday. Hats off to them. They try to get the call right. They're impartial. And we don't need, even if the referee miss it, they're human beings. But stop telling the kids they're cheating because you're losing or you lost. Stop. That's up in the pros and all that. The adults an adult can decipher whether when you say the refs are cheating, the parents and the kids believe what you say. Stop it. Now that starts a lot of confusion with referees. This referee was honest. I didn't look at his hands. So he made a mistake and the Rangers lost from the mistake that he made because he couldn't answer if he broke the plane before he stepped out. He only was looking at his feet. So let's keep it real. If you're going to lose a game, you're going to lose it on something that you can't control. It's the same thing that happened, I'm going to get to with the 12U show, 12U show and the Chiefs. That they closed the show and it was a good game. Now, I'm gonna get to that later, but that's what happened. And the time is out, and that's how it is. So those kids shouldn't hold their head down because you could tell it was very intense, and it came down to the wire, and it seems like
new messages received from Charles Moore.
Yeah, it seems like the games that the Queens Avengers play, they come down to the wire. And I just love, I mean, I don't know how she can do it and still keep her nerves, but I was going, dang, I said, I tapped on the shoulder, you got to do it the hard way. It's nerve-wracking, man, that the kids don't give up, and that coaching staff and she's paused. She is paused. It was a bad call. She get over it and she get back on the next play. And kids, you know what I'm saying?
Call from Charles Morton.
Oh my God. Yo, bro, I'm on the air, man. All right, okay, you're gonna have to hold up. All right, we coming there. Sorry about that. I'm supposed to lower this thing, man. But it was a good game. Second game, it was I didn't really look at it. That 13U show they took care of the Jersey team. What it was, EO Jag. They took care of them. I don't even know what the score was, but it was It was the only show chip they won was at 13U. And the Knights Elite was next, Hudson County and the Knights Elite, and it was a runaway. I was very, very shocked that the Knights, I thought it was going to be a tougher game, but I was shocked that the Knights Elite kind of shut those fast kids down. Shut them down. It seemed like the Knights Elite kids was faster. They was faster in they tackling. They was faster in everything. And I'm just looking at it like, wow, this is speed, and then it's super speed. And the way they dominated Hudson County, I was like, wow. And it seems like this organization was one organization. They split off in two, and you could tell because the parents did. I talked to one of the Hudson County coaches. He couldn't even finish. He was so destroyed that I asked him. I said, "It's Chip." He said, "Yo, Unc Milt, man, I don't want to lose to this team." I said, "I would rather lose to that Chiefs non-U than lose to this team." I was like, "Wow." He was doing it, and you could tell it was a back and forth and a couple of dramas out there in the parking lot in the street with the Jersey parents and everything. But it is what it is, man. It was like a total domination from Knights Elite, and that's what it was. And then here we go. The time that the games start getting more better and more good and more, and it was on since then. But we're going to go to the commercial break, and I'm going to get into it after that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to start off with that 10U game, and when we get back, NYC Youth Sports Podcast. Uncle Milt, I'll be right back.
A community fundraiser. Each of us helps one of us. Think of a community hit with an epidemic that created financial devastation, massive unemployment, housing problems, and food shortages. To help the community to weather the tough times ahead, we must pull our resources together and create a cycle of funding. A one-time resource is Help Required. Each of us helps one of us with this continuously cycle of support. We'll relieve the burden off of you, the individual, with the help from the community. To join our community, email us at eachofushelpsoneofus@gmail.com. Leave your name and date of birth, and we'll send you the instruction video.
To create a perfect student athlete, you must enhance these attributes: mind, body, and soul. In other words, education, fitness, and nutrition must be a part of your life. And it starts right here at the New York City Youth Sports Initiative.
Here's 5 ways to support NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. 1. Push the subscribe button, like it, and leave a comment. 2. Donation. What you can. It will be appreciated. 3. Promote what you're doing or your kid's achievement in youth sports with our $10 on-the-screen ad spot. $10 per show or $30 a month. 4. Share this podcast show with others on social media. 5. Buy our show's apparel on Amazon.com. Thank you for your participation.
We're back, NYC Youth Sports Podcast, and we back. We was at the 10U game. And it was an easy game for them, for 10U. it was an easy game, and they did what they were supposed to do, and that was the second chip, the second chip in the game. 11U, which I was shocked, man. Shout out to Coach Jay. I thought his team was a little tougher than that, but it's what it is, man. They came out. It was a little back and forth thing, and then it just went out of hand. It just went out of hand. It was like an easy game for that 11U, and like they did. I don't have the scores. I was looking. I was working on some other stuff that I didn't put the scores in, but you could call me up at 8718-873-2017. That's 8718-873-2017 and talk about it. And, you can also bring Uncle Milt the scores. But the 11U Chiefs did that. And they, it was like an easy game at the 11U. And I was shocked with that because that team was undefeated also, that Staten Island Hurricane team. And it was, a good pickup. And that won the Chiefs' third chip. And they was on autopilot after that. And then the next game was the 12U game, 12U in the show. Now, I thought that game was going to be very, very easy for the 12U, and it wasn't. The show, whatever they did, they adjust, and they came out, and it was a defensive battle. And it was a defensive battle, and they really wanted that. They wanted that, the show wanted that chip, and they played like they wanted it. And it was just so amazing to see being on the Chiefs sideline, how they, just like I said, how they work together, how coaches tell them, this going on, this is going on, boom, boom, boom. Play, they subbing players and stuff like that, and they working together. And they all work. Big Trav, shout out to Big Trav, vice president. They all was working, keeping the sidelines back, keeping us back off the sidelines and everything. And it went down. It went down to, and it looked like the Chief was in a tough battle to get this chip. And the show wasn't giving up, man, and they fought down to the last. And then, because it was like 0-0, the show scored first. And then it looked like the Chief, just whatever happened, the Chief got into their power game. They got some backs, man. I'm going to call them running back you, man. Them brothers got every level. They find a running back that's very good. And number two, he he fumbled. The last play he fumbled, the last play down, he was on himself, and that kid is a baller. Number two is a baller. He put them on a back. Number two and the other one. What's the other number? I think 7. It was another runner, 7. They had a goal line, almost like a goal line stand, and they it's just like I said, man. The show wanted this real bad. They wanted this game real bad. It came down. It was they had them at 4th and goal, and it's just these ballers, man. And he scored, and then did an extra point, so that made it 7-6, and then he kicked it. It was like it was not even a minute and a half in the fourth quarter. Kicked off, and the show was coming, and I think the far as they got it, probably down to the 20 or like that, and the clock ran out, and that's what happened. It's something that you can't control. The clock ran out, and when the clock ran out, it was over. That's something you can control. So when you're going to lose, you want to lose like that. You want to lose. Ah, man, we just ran out of time. You know what I'm saying? It's done. That's why you got 4 quarters, and you got a certain amount of time each quarter, and it was just an amazing closing to the whole Big Apple Super Bowl D2, and it was I was glad to be in attendance, and I was glad to be there to see and be on the field to get a whole lot of things going on, shooting the talking and politicking with other organizations with there. Shout out to President Dexter from the Rockaway Ravens and his son and his wife was there talking to them, talking to Mike from the Bulldogs. Shout out to them. Shout out to him and Money Mike, and we was kicking it up about something and what it was, and talking to Tyrone and watch how he was navigating and working hard at trying to please everybody, and it's what it is. Say it's very, very hard, and you on top of your game, you're on top of New York, and it's not easy to do what you do, but you try to do it, and it's what it is, man. Shout out to that, what you put together and things. So it was what it was, man. It was what it was, man. Amazing, very, very amazing, man. Very amazing day, man. So it was some chatter on Facebook, man, Joe. It was some chatter on Facebook about some game coming up. Okay. Some game coming up. Supposed to be UTL against Big Apple. then that disappeared. That disappeared. I get on the phone. Listen, man. I understand, people, some of these leagues like Big Apple is looking to do this big tri-state thing with Connecticut and Jersey. And yeah, I get it. I get his premise of doing it. But, and I say but like a big but, it's New York. It's about New York to me. It's about New York. You expands it, and I think he's going to be leaving room for someone else to pop up and fill the void. Now, my opinion is this. I get it. It's a problem on identifying who's D1 and who's D2. Because there's room for a D2 league. There's room. The way Big Apple handled D2, because the way he set up his North and South, D2 took a hit, and it was not a lot of good records in D2 at all. They had a D2 Super Bowl. Shout out to the Rockaway Ravens. They beat. What was that team? They had a 6-1 record. Was it Pioneers or something? They beat them. Wow. At 13U. So wow, it was very low key, and because a D2 product, it's got to see whoever's in D2, see who's the best in D2. So it was so broken down this year as far as Big Apple's concerned, the D2 division, that, their records was not from 8, and let's be real, we go and see the records from 8 to 12, the records was all ridiculous. They was under 500. Under 500. And if you hear what they say, yeah, we played a D1. We played this D1 team. We played this. When do y'all played each other? So I'm saying I understand the tri-state thing, right? I just don't understand how y'all guys going to do both. Now, if y'all going to say, okay, I'm going to create a D1 league and we're going to do a tri-state, I understand that. But there's room for someone to say, okay, I'm going to create a D2 league. So it was said to me, hey, nobody wants to be in a D2 league. I'm like, come on, y'all need to get a grip of reality. Football is football. The business of football is football, right? Okay. This is why so many people separate and doing their own thing. Because so many teams really think they D1. And they not. They're not. If you'd have came Sunday, you would have saw two D1 teams battling. Two D1 teams battling. And it wasn't no blowout like 50-0 and 40. No. It came down to the wire. That means that they was equally matched. Equally matched and the bounce of the ball, the click of the clock, and who made plays. Who made plays won this game. If you look at it, the 8U game was the same thing. There were two D1 teams. D1 caliber game. So I'm saying like this. What needs to be happening is to point out who's D2. And don't be ashamed because I get so many definitions on what D2 is supposed to be. People that want to regroup or new teams that want to get a little better or what. Yeah, okay, I get with all of that. But it's the quality of games. You shouldn't go and beat somebody 50-0. That means that you played against a D2 team. You may be a D1 and they may be a D2. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. Let's see two D2 go at it. Maybe we'll see quality on that level. But everybody don't want to be labeled as D2. And I don't understand. It's stupid to me. Parents don't even know between D1, D2. Parents don't even know. They just want to see a quality game, a competitive game, and the kids are on a level to compete. Even if there is a difference competing on a D1 level. Because at the end of the day, every team in New York goes to regionals or to Florida and they all D2. So I don't understand. That's another story. So it's like I saw quality, and I'm not putting down other leagues. I'm making fun of other leagues. I saw the games. There's gotta be a separation of who's D1 and D2, so we can make the product better. To me, better. Some people, need to just wake up and say and stop doing that. Because you're not out there blocking and tackling. You're just yelling orders out there. You training. It's the quality of the game that I'm looking at. It's the quality of the game. It's the coaching and what the kids are doing out there to evaluate what you are. And that's what it is. It's no shortcut. It's what it is. So, I understand the big tri-state. I think that's what they're doing. I think it'll be good if you're building a D1 league that teams from these states get together and they play. Then somebody need to make a D2 league. And they probably be the most successful league in New York City. They probably will be the most biggest and the successful league in New York City. My opinion. Somebody got to do it. It's like everybody can't have a D1 league. That's just the deal. Everybody can't have a D1 league. I know they want it, but they can't. Because if I looked at most of the games across the spectrum, and I see the difference. UTL UTL has some D1 teams, and they also have some D2 teams too. They also have some D2 teams. Metro North is the same. They got some D1 teams, but they also got some D2 teams. Upstate, we can't forget about Upstate. This is a New York thing. Upstate, they got most of the teams upstate is D1. They battle it out up there. I'm still trying to figure out. There's some teams that don't have a flag. I mean, I call the teams without a country. Them teams that they travel and stuff. They're not part of AYF or anything, or UFL or Pop Warner and things like that. They're not part of that and things like that. So that stuff upstate is kind of like is what it is. But let's be real. We got to figure out how to unite all this together. So we can get we got to be honest with you, we got a real city champion and a county champion, which is the Chiefs. The Chiefs is the team to beat. That's the real city and county. They play some teams in Long Island. They beat everybody. They went through the playoffs and everything. So we're going to crown them, at least on this podcast show. The Brooklyn Chiefs are the team to beat in New York City and the county of New York. Right? So I was putting together because they were talking about UTL against Big Apple, and nobody want to see that. Nobody want to see that. Come on. Nobody want to see that. I tell you what I want to see. I got a list here that I want to see, and I'm going to say it, and I like to see this teams. So we're going to go to another break. We're going to come back, and we're going to get my list up together, and we're going to talk about it. Call us in and talk about it, and see what everybody say about my list. All right, we back.
A community fundraiser. Each of us helps one of us. Think of a community hit with an epidemic that created financial devastation, massive unemployment, housing problems, and food shortages. To help the community to weather the tough times ahead, we must pull our resources together and create a cycle of funding. A one-time resource is help required. Each of us helps one of us with this continuously cycle of support. We'll relieve the burden off of you, the individual, with the help from the community. To join our community, email us at eachofushelpsoneofus@gmail.com. Leave your name and date of birth, and we'll send you the instruction video.
To create a perfect student athlete, you must enhance these attributes: mind, body, and soul. In other words, education, fitness, and nutrition must be a part of your life. And it starts right here at the New York City Youth Sports Initiative.
Here's 5 ways to support NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. 1. Push the subscribe button, like it, and leave a comment. 2. Donation. What you can. It will be appreciated. 3. Promote what you're doing or your kid's achievement in youth sports with our $10 on-the-screen ad spot. $10 per show or $30 a month. 4. Share this podcast show with others on social media. 5. Buy our show's apparel on Amazon.com. Thank you for your participation.
NYC Youth Sports. Yeah, when I left with the break, I said something. I want to take that back. right? Big Apple with UTL. UTL got some teams that I like to see play with Big Apple. So let me take that back. I didn't mean to say there's some that I don't. So I'm gonna tell you what's on my list. The Facebook post had everybody. It had Big Apple logo. They had Metro North, and they had UTL. And then they had the Big 21, which I ain't interested. That's Jersey. I'm not interested in any teams that's out of the state. Period. I'm not. So I said, take out Big 21. Let's add the upstate teams. Let's add the upstate teams. And I came out with my list, right? I came out with my list. Joe, can you put the list up? This is the game that should happen. You see this list here? It's Uncle Mills' top 12. Now, I got in the 8U. See, I pick teams like they haven't played together. And they champions and they Super Bowl. So you start off, it could be Flower City Panthers up in Rochester against I like to see that game. Or the Bronx Wolfpacks. Now, that's a UTL. That's a UTL team right there. Wolfpacks against the 8U or Salt City Renegades. That's up in Syracuse. Any one of these three teams I want to see against the Chiefs and see how that works out. Because these teams got good records. They also D1, and the Chiefs are D1. So that's see the 8U is the champions of the Big Apple and also the county. So let's see how they do with state teams. You can't leave out the state. I'm tired of hearing saying, okay, yo, listen, Mill, it's all the way up there. It's 8 hours. No, figure it out. They came down here to play. The Chiefs came up there to Syracuse and played. Figure it out. But this is the game for the state before you go to nationals. This is the game right here. This is the best in New York. So if you want to be the best, you only want to be the best in the city and the best in the county. You want to be the best in the state. So when you go to nationals, this is the team that represent the state. This is the team. And you go to national and try to get that national chip. Call me up and say I'm wrong. You see 9U there? 9U division. Brooklyn Saints, that's another UTL team. So it's some teams I want to see in UTL. Now, I took out the Jersey team, the Knights Elite. You know, Tyrone don't like it. Listen, I took out the Jersey team. The BK Saints played the Jersey team, and it was a close game, and the Jersey team won. But they haven't played Salt City Renegades. And then let's throw it in this is a Metro North brand. Westchester Untouchables. They won the Super Bowl at 9. Let's see how that game goes. This is the state right here. This is the state. How you going to do in the state? How you going to do in the county? BK Saints play some county teams and beat them. So, I consider BK Saints Super Bowl champions in the city and also the county. But you got a team that's in Westchester, and you got a team that's in Syracuse. This is a state thing, right? You got 10U now. Now, the 10U, just there you go. UTL got 2 teams on there. Metro North, UTL got 1 team. Metro North got 1 team, and upstate Flower City, 10U. I forgot Flower City. A shout out Coach Harry from the Flower City 8U. We've been talking about that all year. We got you down here. Uncle Mill got you down right here. Come play the Chiefs. Y'all did your thing upstate. I got to ask her by their name because if something happened, we're going to get into that story. Yeah, with AYF, I don't know. They on something. But I hope me and the fellow, I ain't going to say his name. I hope he smoothed out because I think we got on the wrong foot. But I'm going to talk about that later on. is what we do, you know. So this 10U game, you got New Rochelle, right? Brooklyn United, BU is there. Flower City, even one. Who else wants to play? Pull up. But I don't. I don't know that. I don't know that Brooklyn St. BU is going to be. It'd probably be a good game. It'd be a good game at the gate, but I don't know. That Flower City team maybe. That Flower City team, there's something up there what's that? Rochester. 11U. Now this is the game because this team right here I consider is the best in UTL is the Long Island Renegades. Long Island Renegades and the Chief will be a game, and if the Long Island Renegades don't want to pull up, then you got the Poughkeepsie Pioneer, which that's a good team too, out of the Metro North. These are two good teams. These are two good 11U teams that's in the state. Let's see how they do with the Brooklyn Chiefs. Let's see how they do. This is the next level. Buffalo Kids is one up there in Buffalo, New York. But these two teams, Long Island Renegades, which is the 11U championship of UTL, and the Peekskill Pioneers is the champion of Metro North. Let's do it. Let's do it. One against another. Let's do it. Even one could pull up. It'd be a good game for 11U. 12U. Now, it's a lot of asterisks by all these names. Hey, I'm gonna get into AYF later, man. It's funny over there, man, at AYF. And this is the game that's gonna be very interesting. I want to give my condolences out to Coach Brown. He lost a family member. I hope my condolences from the podcast show reach out to him, and I hope he can it's like my prayers and love go out to his loss, and I hope that I was trying to reach him, and then I realized, oh man, he lost. So excuse me for calling you, brother, but I hope when everything clear that we can speak. But I wanted to talk about your Syracuse Wolves. Your Syracuse Wolves and the Staten Island Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are just like I said, they're the champions of the city and also the champions of the county. And your guys are the championship of the state, upstate. So you want to see this. We want to see a New York product. I'm tired of teams that we don't know when they go to Florida. We don't know what they're going to do. You got this factor liking this team, that factor liking that team, and we all separate. This is how we can bring it together. It's like no UTL against Big Apple. I know it's a good gate, but come on. We want to see good games also. If it's good games, you're going to have a good gate. That's the deal, because there's a lot of, I don't belong to any particular team, but I like to see a good game, and there's a platform for that people pull up to the game and pay the ticket and just want to see kids play on a competitive level. That's the way it is. So I like these picks, man. Anybody want to call up and say and add something to, and if I miss something, let me know, and I tell you why. I decided to go with these guys. I did a lot of research. This week, and calling people and see what the deal was, and and everything, and it's the way it is, man. But this is here we at right here. These are the teams that won. These are the teams that's champions. These are most of the teams that champion, and it's everybody. It's every league. It's upstate. It's UTL. It's Big Apple, and it's Metro North all together to see who's who and what's what. And if you notice, it's mixed in. The only team that stands out at non-U we have in the city is the BK Saints, and this is why we got them by themselves, as you know, because they did their thing in the city and in the county, and you know, we're not adding no Jersey team. I'm not talking about no Jersey team. No, shout out to those Jersey teams that do come over the river and play us. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't, you know, Jersey's Jersey. I'm talking about, I'm New York first, you know. People tell me, nobody wants this state product. This state product, to me, I'd rather, do you want to go to South Jersey? You want to go to Connecticut? Why you can't go upstate? It's a product. To me, but it's, you know, everybody's in, you know, people is in their own little corner. I'm this, I'm that. I'm this, but it's good football out there, and it's a good product. And when it's a good product, it's a good gate, it's a good entertainment. I'm not into those, you know, little circles that I'm just this and I'm part of that, and I'm just this and I'm part of that. I would like to pull up into a game and look at it and talk about it and talk to the people there and promote that on my podcast, and that's what I like to do. But this is it right here, man. Any questions, call me up. You call me up. If you're not watching the show, because we get a lot of people watching on the rewatch, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up on Facebook, you know, and I just tell you what I think. And this is it, you know. This is the best in the state. The best in the state is looking at us right now. We can put that event, we should put that event together. You know, that event should be together. If they got this week and next week before they go to Florida, hey, reach out for some of these teams. Figure it out. You know, that's something that should happen. You know, when you don't want to see, we don't see, you know, certain teams. Yo, come on, man, it's not entertainment to see. To go see some other team blow somebody out just to make a point saying who's better than the other one. Come on. That's like I said. There's some D1 teams and there's some D2 teams. Y'all got to figure it out. Y'all got to figure it out. You know, stop. Y'all got to figure it out, because the only way we're going to find out who's who is when you play. And when you play and you look very silly playing, come on. Is the Long Island Renegades D1? Is the Long Island Renegades D1? Pull up to the Chiefs. Is the Pete Scales Pioneers D1? Pull up to the Chiefs. Pull up. Same thing. BU feels that they D1? Pull up. Pull up. Pull up to the 12U Chiefs. Because they're a D1 team. The Chiefs are a D1 team. They're a D1 league organization. Pull up. If you beat them, then you could talk. I'm D1 too. If you look good in the game, if you look really good in the game and competitive, then you could say I'm a D1. I'm a D1. But when you get blown the hell out and it look different, then maybe you a D2. Maybe. Same thing. Bronx Wolfpack, if you a D1 organization, pull up with the Chiefs. Pull up. Make that game happen. Pull up. Pull up. Make that game happen. New Rochelle. Brooklyn United. Figure it out. Pull up in the 10U Chiefs. Make that a game. Pull up and let's see who you are. It's like, let's see who you are. Let's see who you are. That's the deal. I want to see with my own eyes. I'm tired of the talk. I'm tired of hearing people resumes. They pull out their resume. Nah, we played them in 1901. Nah, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. It's 2021. What do you do now? Pull up and play each other so we can see who's D1 and D2. That's the thing. That's what people are afraid of. They're afraid of being exposed. They're afraid saying, like, you know, my hat's off to certain teams decide to say, you know, I'm just D2 this year, man. Let me just play in D2, bro. And keep quiet. But some of these people be talking like they D1s, and they really, really disguising as D1s. They D2s. So only way it's gonna happen when you pull up and make it happen. This list is real. This list is real. Tell me if anything wrong with this list. You know? I don't know. Tell me, you know, on this list, is something wrong with this list? I thought I turned down this volume. And you told people that you on the show, man. You know, I'm recording on the show, man. Yeah, so, you know, pull up. What are you going to do? Right? And see. I just want to see. I see in my own eyes. I see it. I'm tired of the talking, Joe, yo, I'm this, yo, that, you don't want to do this, you know. I just put the list out, bro. This is a legit list. Who's the best in the state 2021 right now? You got 2 weeks before you go to nationals. Let's make that happen. Tyrone, let's make that happen, man. Let's make that happen, man. Let's see what happens with that. You know, we already know who the best in the city, who the best in the county. We already know that already. We don't need to see them same games again. We don't need to see them same games again. Wait till next year. You got a shot to be the best. You got a shot to be the best next year. Come out next year and try again. I don't want to see teams that already played already. I don't want to see teams that played already. I want to see teams that don't play already, especially teams that's talking. Especially teams that's talking. So you can accept it, and you can accept the challenge, or you can shut up quietly. Quiet. Be quiet. We don't want to see no excuses. Accept the challenge, or don't accept it, but be quiet. No excuses. It was big talk. It was a big post. It was a big post, and then it got quiet. And it got quiet. It was a big post. Everybody talking. And it got quiet. It just disappeared. I'm like, no one's saying anything.
On both sides?
No, Big Apple was talking. Big Apple was saying, "What's up?" Hopefully we get Mr. Professional Tyrone to call in at 9:30, and we're gonna talk about it. He don't want to hear no state product. I'm pushing it. He don't want to hear it. He don't want to hear nothing about. He was telling me, Milk, I don't want to hear nothing about no damn state. I'm telling them it's a product, man. It's a product. It's a product. People don't understand, man. People don't understand, like, to forge new areas and new ventures that nobody did before. You gotta do it. You gotta go out there with the mindset and the foresight and the belief that it's gonna work. And if you got a plan, if you plan it right, and it comes together, it's gonna have some setbacks and stuff, but you ready for that. And if you stick to the plan, it'll work. It'll work. You know. So let me go to the break right now. I'm gonna go to the break. We're gonna come back, talk about this AYF thing, man. It's crazy, man.
A community fundraiser. Each of us helps one of us. Think of a community hit with an epidemic that created financial devastation, massive unemployment, housing problems, and food shortages. To help the community to weather the tough times ahead, we must pull our resources together and create a cycle of funding. A one-time resource is help required. Each of us helps one of us with this continuously cycle of support. We'll relieve the burden off of you, the individual, with the help from the community. To join our community, email us at eachofushelpsoneofus@gmail.com. Leave your name and date of birth, and we'll send you the instruction video.
To create a perfect student athlete, you must enhance these attributes: mind, body, and soul. In other words, education, fitness, and nutrition must be a part of your life. And it starts right here at the New York City Youth Sports Initiative.
Here's 5 ways to support NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. 1. Push the subscribe button, like it, and leave a comment. 2. Donation. What you can. It will be appreciated. 3. Promote what you're doing or your kid's achievement in youth sports with our $10 on-the-screen ad spot. $10 per show or $30 a month. 4. Share this podcast show with others on social media. 5. Buy our show's apparel on Amazon.com. Thank you for your participation.
Yeah, we back, NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. Uncle Milt, producer Joe, and we here. Listen, man, I had an innocent, I want to say something like this, man. Be honest with you, we this is a serious topic, a discussion right now I'm about to enter. We gotta stop putting each other, what we do, or putting each other down. Now, it's a thin line. It's a thin line when people are doing something and they doing it wrong, or they doing it, they mismanaging it, or they don't have the right the people behind them is telling them what to do. Is a lot of things we do, and we don't seek certain counsel for what we do. Now, it's a lot of people behind the scenes. They don't put their hand up as far as a podcast show is concerned. People that know, I have talked to a lot of people. I have people telling me, Uncle Milt do this, Uncle Milt do that. Uncle Milt, this is a good story, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I call people up and say, I like to run this story and things like that. And I'm serious about what I do, right? So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm human, and sometimes I do make mistakes, but I'm accountable for what I do. And what we do is we don't be accountable for what we do. We want to all talk about the good stuff, and I'm adding my stuff in it too. But I learned this. I evolved as an adult that we have to be accountable for what we do, and we all doing stuff. Even if you're running an organization or doing a league or doing something with kids, as far as kids concerned, we all trying to do some stuff. And I'm just tired of hearing, we trying to do something for the kids when you make a mistake, when you have a setback. I don't want to hear we're trying to do stuff for the kids. You made a mistake, own up to the mistake. Brush yourself off and come back. Stop with that excuses. One thing we do, we talk bad about each other. We talk I try to do on this podcast is talk about what you do and what you didn't do. And it starts off what you do first. Every story that I start off with is what you do. I try to bring truth to it. And I ask the necessary questions. Now, I'm not ESPN. I'm not Fox Sports. I'm want to be one of the first sports network that deals with youth sports across the spectrum. Football, basketball, track, soccer, whatever the youth is in the inner city or the outer city or the suburbs. I want to be that sports show. And I'm building it up from the ground up. Am I qualified to be in front of this mic, in front of this camera? Hell no. I'm not qualified. But am I looking for somebody who's got the credentials, who is trying, who wants to start off in this market, that going to school? Yes, I'm always looking for someone like that. But what you're going to do is respect what I'm trying to do. You're going to respect on what I'm trying to do. Because I tell people like this, what are you doing? The one that's criticizing, that's saying it's not like this and not that. What are you doing? Are you doing something to be judged by or to be accountable for? Some of them not. So I call up AYF, hit him up on a messenger about 2 questions, Mr. Lou, and there's another Mr. Craig. I can pronounce his name. His first name is Craig. I hit him up, and I know somebody was talking reckless about what I do here, because you get the question is valid. That's number one. Respect the question, because the question is valid. Only you can answer it. If I ask a question that only you can answer, is like I said, it's 3 ways you can do it. If you decide to say no comment, then I don't want to hear nothing else after that, because I'm going to ask another question. So, you know, this last guy, I don't know what level he's on at AYF, but I hit him up with the Flower City thing. Like, what happened with Flower City? Like, I told you, no comment. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. You know, I don't have time. I said, I don't have time. I got to get what he said, the right thing. And I'm like, come on, man. You can tell it's a little, like he's adding a little extra to it. And I have to be professional about it. No comment again. I'm too busy focusing on positive stuff to entertain. I don't know what this is, Joe. What is TJS? Best regards. I don't know. TJS? Huh? I had to put, Uncle Milk got to put his glasses on. It's TJIS. TJIS, man. That's, you know, they got them little symbols. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that meant. So, I mean, I'm saying, is this guy's a professional? Is he's a professional? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God, look at this, man. So I'm saying, like, you know, I know someone talk reckless about me. Oh, that dude, you know, he nobody. He just trying to strum up. No. Because the way he says no comment. No comment means no comment. You don't need to say anything else after that. I'm not interested that you're too busy, because the question was valid. The question was valid. It's a no comment. You don't want to answer it. No comment again. And I'm like, oh man, look at this. I would like to talk to you. This is what I say. I would like to talk to you so I can formally introduce them what we do on this sports show. Sir, what we do on this sports show. I'd like to talk to you. Because you may have the wrong impression about me. We have all the same goals, youth kids in sports, period. That's when I guess, I appreciate the offer, but I'm knee deep in planning a national and maybe another time. Now, that's what you should have led with. You know what I'm saying? That's what you should have led with. When it's feasible for you, my line's always open. Thank you for your time. That's it. I understand that somebody says something crazy like, don't talk to him and things like this. This is what that gets me with our people. When you get to the other person, you have to have a mind frame of like, listen, man, whatever, I'm not going to talk bad about him to the other person. You know what I mean? I'm saying? Because they think we all the same. They think that we all about gossip and all about nonsense and popping off and what's the word they use? Smoke and we giving the smoke. No. I'm trying to find out information that this man I respect. Don't even never met him, but I respect that he's the person to give me the information that I need. No comment, and that's it. Don't talk to me like I'm not a professional person, because I didn't ask an unprofessional question. I asked a question that he could have said yes or no, or this will happen. And it's public record anyway, because you passed a decision on a team. It's nothing private. It's nothing private. You should answer it. Or refer me to some public relations person in AYF. They was disqualified for these reasons. But this is the thing, man. This is the thing I respect independence, because sometimes some of these conferences that you go through is all money grabs. And I said I would never say that, but I'm going to be honest with you. If we really want to be independent from all of that, really independent for all of that, because all they care is about what money that you bring to them, what money that you come out to take from the parents and bring to them. Look at the price to go to Florida. Look at the price. Look at the price to go to regionals. Just add it up. That's dollars coming out our neighborhood. That's dollars coming out our neighborhood. And we could create a state product that we get that money and keep that money in our neighborhood where it's supposed to be. Keep that money in youth football where it's supposed to be in New York State. We could create a Florida in New York State. We could create that. Y'all going down to these nationals and taking a whole bunch of money with you and come back with a hope and a dream and talk. They don't care nothing about, I'm not talking to you. Because the people that represent talks bad. He's, listen, man, he's a sports show and he's trying to add the truth and things like that. They ain't say that. They say don't pay no attention to him. So you pick up that baton and you do the same thing. You don't even know me. They don't even try to find out. Some people realize they're like, oh, Milt, man, damn, you got how many? I didn't know you had all these shows. Yo, I checked out a few, man, they pretty good for someone who's not experienced. But I decided to say, I'm going to try my best to keep it to the truth and try my best to keep it not personal. And talk about what happened and what happened and what didn't happen. That's the deal. So, I'm just ashamed. I hope we can iron it out. But it's not like I'm calling you for some gossip. This is something that you pass a rule on. You pass a rule on two teams that I wanted to know why. That's in New York City. That's in New York State. What happened? Obvious something happened. Even when you go to police, it's in the paper somebody did something. Yes, this happened, boom, boom, boom. That's it. But I knew somebody said something reckless. So, But I like to put out there, like, if anybody want to know what we doing on this podcast show, what Uncle Milt is about, what Producer Joe is about, hit that number over there and look at our work. Look at our work on Watch the Youth channel on YouTube. Look at our work on Studio A, NYC. Look at our work on Crazy Capital Media. This is our work. Look at that before you judge us. Don't even get to know us. Look at the work we do first before you say anything. Just because it's looking bad for you and we're expressing what happened and what the truth is, don't get mad about it. We didn't do it. You have to do it. We talk about it. I keep saying that. You know, if you get in front of it, and stop being, get in front of it. Oh yeah, man, I made a mistake, man. Blah blah. I try to get in front of my stuff. Whatever I do, I get in front of it. People ask me, "Yo, Milt, y'all was talking about the state over here. What happened? What happened?" We couldn't get it filled, and then it broke down. The promoters that we were involved, we broke down. That's the way it is. But we be back at it next year. I put it on me. I went into it knowing the work that I had to put together to do it, and I got sidetracked on some other things. But that's not happening next year. I care about a state product. The league's got a city product and a county product. I care about that, and I want, at the end of the day, I want a state product. Who is the best in the state? We already know who was the best in the city and who was the best in the county. Now, these games right here tells you who's the best in the state. Everybody should be on board with this. 2 weeks before some teams go to national. 2 weeks. This week and the week Thanksgiving weekend. This should be popping off right now. This is it. So they said they need tune-ups before they go to Florida. This is it. This is it. We already know. We already know. This is my picks. You see it up there. I put it on Facebook tonight. Those are my picks for games. Uncle Milt top 12 at the state games. That's what we call it. Uncle Milt top 12 at the state game. We got some teams. I mean, just in case, like I said, there's going to be some teams that I don't want to play. I get out the way. Let the next team in. But you got to shut up. If you don't answer the invite, you got to shut up. We can't say, I'm this, I'm D1, I'm this. No. We know who's D1, bro. We know. I know the teams that's D1. I seen them play. So now you got to see what you got to do. So just like I said, man, you don't like the platform, but respect the work. You don't like the man, but respect the work of the man. Respect the work of the man. If you don't like the man, it's what it is. But this is what I said. I'm trying to stretch this out for Mr. Professional because he wanted to come on tonight. But I'm ready finished, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, I got some stuff to talk about. We're gonna stretch this out about. We got 10 minutes, Mr. Professional want to come on and say some things if he remembers. But I hit him up and gave him the number and see when it come on. We got some things going on at the podcast. Hit that subscribe button, man. We had a good viewing last week, and I like to promote a lot of things and promote some people that doing a lot of things, and sometimes it seems like the stories that's somebody doing something bad seem to be the best stories and the biggest views. We a guest-driven show. We want our guests to come in. We getting away from the Zoom because we want to get back to that content. We want to get back to that close contact with the guests to come in and feel happy, sit down and relax and express themselves. I don't like to be And I want to bring my guests here, not in their house, and they're all comfortable, and we're trying to create some chemistry here. So we getting back to the in-house guests, and we didn't have guests for a few weeks now because they want to stay in their house, and I'm like, nah, we gotta come down to the studio. Gotta come down to here. We got this place. It's beautiful. We worked hard to put it together. We got some good show when the guests are sitting across us talking, right, Joe?
Yes.
Very good show. So we want to promote that. Come down. We working on a live stream thing that we're gonna bring to you guys, and we working on it, and working to get it going. And I'm so happy with it. When we be able to unveil it, bring it out and bring it to you guys as something that the podcast show, the sports show can expand and everything, as far as covering youth sports, games and live events and things like that. So we working on something like that to come out, and we come into the end of the season. Next week is Thanksgiving, right? Yeah, we not gonna be on next Wednesday because we're gonna do next Thanksgiving. We're not gonna be. We back in December, the first week of December. We'll be back with with a show. We're gonna take off next week, but we not really taking off, but we not gonna be. We gonna be doing something else, but we need viewers. We need viewers. We work on getting viewers. We on the bottom of the screen, right underneath me, is a thing. It always was there. It always was there. But we want to really build this up. It's a ad that rotates, and this is like the very inexpensive, very cheap way to advertise what you do. Any coach, anybody that's parent, anybody that's in youth sport has a self who works for themselves or have their own business. Hit Uncle Milt up. On the bottom, we want to promote your business on what you do. It's $10 a show, $35 a month, and it's $90 for 3 months. And it will rotate in while our show is on the air for an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. It will rotate. And people will recognize what you do, and they would give you, they would give you business, and they would support you like you supporting youth sports. So this is something that we feel, we want to move anybody that's self-employed, coach, parents, volunteers. We want you to hit us up. You give us the ad. We're going to give you a receipt that you can write off. We are a nonprofit 501c3, and we're going to give you a receipt like you donated the money to us, which it is. We call a pledge your ad. Pledge your ad to us, and then in return, we're going to give you a receipt like you donated the money to us, which is true. And it will help us with our overhead. It will help us keep us going on new projects that we were trying to put out. 2, we ask for donation. I know it's very, very hard. It's a season of giving. We ask for donation. Whatever you can do, whatever you can do and you can give to us will be appreciative. Whatever. It's at Cash App NYC Youth Sports, or our telephone number on the bottom, right there. And whatever you can give, it will help us tremendously. Another thing, if you can't, if you have something about donating, buy our apparel. We still work. We got something on Amazon. We do have a shirt on Amazon. I really don't like that shirt, but we got something that we put together right. We just got to figure out. I don't want to open no store, so we got to figure out how we going to get it, from how we going to do it, because I don't want to open no store, man. I don't want to do that. I just want to go. I like how Amazon set them up. You just go and Amazon take care of everything. But some of these places you got to go through, like you got to open up a Spotify and all. I really don't want to do that. I'm trying to look for somebody that does it like Amazon. They take care of everything. They take care of the credit card payments and the shipping and all that. So I don't have to do nothing because we don't make a lot on a shirt. But if you want to donate and get some, I believe that you should get something back from your giving. So if you see what we have on, you have t-shirts, long sleeves, sweatshirts, and hoodies, and hats, and and tote bags. Pick one of those up. That the proceeds of that sale goes to the donation, and the other one goes to you. You buy a t-shirt, you get a nice 100% cotton t-shirt, and the proceeds go to, some of us go to us, and the rest goes to the Amazon or whoever that's doing the business with it. But that little thing helps us also. A second thing, our subscribers, I think we up to 329. Yeah. I had a goal to get to 500, but I think I'm falling short because I'm past my due date. But we appreciate you guys hitting that up. At least if you can't give, if you can't buy, at least hit us up. Because this is something that we're doing for the organizations, the league, and the people who do things for kids, and we just talking about what they do, good, bad, and ugly. We don't want to realistically, we don't want to really go out to hurt anybody, but we do report on what's going on. We inform, and we promote and we support the people who support who works with the kids and support the kids. So that's one. So those three things, man, will help us going into the end of the year. That will help us to move forward and do some things in the next year, and that will really, really help us out. It's to hit that subscribe button, buy our merch. It's like a donation. At least you're getting something back. Get our ad spots on the bottom. People say, oh, Mill, I'm waiting for the viewership. This is how we get revenues to build viewerships. We try to build viewerships. Now we just getting viewers organically, but we're trying to do things like, to build our viewership. In order of us to do so, we have to have resources to advertise, resources to do certain things. And it starts off with that on the bottom. That is a spot that you can help us, and you can help yourself by letting people in youth sports know that you run your own business and your own services. And we got a great deal. That's like I said, we got a very great deal. $10 a show. $35 a month, and you're gonna get 1 week free. That's for 3 weeks, but you get 1 week free because it's $35. Or even if you do the 90 days, which is the 3 months, which is $90. So you add that up, that's like $30 a month, and you're gonna get 3 shows free. So that's a good deal. That's a good deal on giving somebody who's consistent. We are consistent. We're 65 episodes in. That shows that we are consistent. We're going to be here next week, and a week after that, and a week after that. So you grow with us. You grow with us, and we're always going to remember who started off with us, and you grow with us. So if you could put aside and say, hey, Milt, the numbers ain't really, attractive to me. But you know what? Let's do this, man. Let's do this. Let me take out a year. Let me take out, let's see how that goes. And that's, by giving us that support, we're going to give you back a receipt that you can write off, the support that you give us, and you get something and we get something. And that's very good. So let me go to the break and see if I can get Tyrone in. If not, we're gonna get out of here. But he asked me to wait until 8:30. So 9:30 actually, and it's there. It's almost there. So let's go to the break. Let me see if I can get him on the phone.
A community fundraiser. Each of us helps one of us. Think of a community hit with an epidemic that created financial devastation, massive unemployment, housing problems, and food shortages. To help the community to weather the tough times ahead, we must pull our resources together and create a cycle of funding. A one-time resource is help required. Each of us helps one of us with this continuously cycle of support. We'll relieve the burden off of you, the individual, with the help from the community. To join our community, email us at eachofushelpsoneofus@gmail.com. Leave your name and date of birth, and we'll send you the instruction video.
To create a perfect student athlete, you must enhance these attributes: mind, body, and soul. In other words, education, fitness, and nutrition must be a part of your life. And it starts right here at the New York City Youth Sports Initiative.
Here's 5 ways to support NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. 1. Push the subscribe button, like it, and leave a comment. 2. Donation. What you can. It will be appreciated. 3. Promote what you're doing or your kid's achievement in youth sports with our $10 on-the-screen ad spot. $10 per show or $30 a month. 4. Share this podcast show with others on social media. 5. Buy our show's apparel on Amazon.com. Thank you for your participation.
NYC Youth Sports, we back. Listen, I wasn't able to get him on the phone, man. He said he'd get off at 9:30. He wanted to talk about some things, so I wasn't able to get him. I don't want to hang out because I didn't have a guest on tonight, so I like keep the show to a minimum time and come back. But it's what it is. I'm gonna wrap up. Let's see, give him a little 10 minutes. Nah, we out of here at 9:40. That's what it is, So it was a good Super Bowl, just like I said. It was a good quality. We know who's D1. It was a D1 quality Super Bowl. All the games was good. All the games was good. I didn't really look at that 13U, but I peeked at it. I was doing my politic, and but all the other games I saw was very good. And I just want to know who's D1, who's D2. Because there's people running around here thinking they D1, but they really is D2. So I figure all these teams that I just mentioned, some are D1, and they got some are D1, and some are disguised as D1, and they will have an opportunity to prove me wrong. Some of them that's disguised. We want to see, like I said, we want to see. We want to see if you D1 because we know who's D1. We know, so we want to see as far as the New York State and the county of New York and the state and the city of New York. We want to see. So consider my list. Let's see if they can put that together over there, instead of saying, oh, let's see. We already know in the city. We already know what's in the city, man. Come on. We already know what's in the city already. We want to know. We want to know what's on this list. and if they pull up and accept the challenge, and if they win, then it's what it is. If not, then it was what it is. So let me get out of here, man. NYC, be back next week. No, next week we off. Thanksgiving weekend. It's a Thanksgiving day before Thanksgiving. It's Wednesday. We're gonna take that off and come back to, what day is that? That's December. Wednesday is December 1st. December 1st, we back on the air December 1st on a Wednesday. And we may have a guest, may not, but just like I said, the Zoom is open for special people. They can't walk. They can't you know what I'm saying? The story is big enough. The story is big enough to me to open my Zoom account for you. Other than that, everybody's in Studio A, NYC. Come down here to our studio, and we can do it in person. Talk about, this is what the show is set up to be, is that in-person conversation and feel and whatever, So we be back then. Thank you for tuning in, and those who's in the room tuning in, thank you. Thank you very much for those who do view my show and give me those good comments. I appreciate, and even the tap on the shoulder or the when I'm on the field, and they make me feel love. I appreciate you taking time out to view what we do, and please continue to support us. We're going to get where we're going organically. We're going to get where we're going through hard work and perseverance. We're going to be there. So there's nothing that deters us. You can say anything. You can say this and this about us, and I'm agree with you. But I'm still going to keep moving on. All right, y'all. Good night. God bless. Joe, I'm done. Joe fell asleep here. I'm done.